Hey, welcome everybody. This is Daniel Campbell, and once again I am talking about C++, and today I will be on the subject of loops. Now, some of you might not know what a loop is, so I'm going to explain that right quick. While you're programming, there may be a situation when you need to execute a block of code several times, and this is where loops come in. A loop allows us to execute a statement or a group of statements multiple times. And right quick, I'm going to draw a example for you. So here's our main code right here. Our code will run down to a certain condition block. It's a very nice block. C for condition. And it will say something, and as long as that condition is true, it will run back to the original code. Nice. True right there. If it's false, it will go down and continue on with the rest of the code after the condition. So that's my beautiful drawing right there. I should be an artist and not a computer science major. So anyways, there are 4 different types of loops in the C++ programming language. There are while loops, for loops, do-while loops, and nested loops. A while loop will repeat a statement or a group of statements while a given condition is true, and it tests the condition before executing the body. So for while loops, you will have a statement that will be either true or false, and before the program executes your loop, it will test to see if that statement is true or false. If it's true, it will execute the loop. If it's false, it will move on. A for loop executes a sequence of statements multiple times and abbreviates the code that manages the loop variable. So a for loop, you will set a number of times you want it to run, and it will run it, whatever program you have in the loop, that many times that you set. A do-while loop is like a while statement, except that it tests the condition at the end of the loop body instead of the beginning. While a while loop will test it at the beginning, a do-while will test it at the end to see if it's true or false. So it will run it and then test it to see if it's true or false. Thus, it will still run the program, but then test it at the end instead of a while if it's false, it won't run it at all. A nested loop is when you use one or more loop inside of any other loop. So if you used a while inside of a for loop inside of a while inside a do-while, a for inside a do-while, or so on. And so with that, there are 3 different control statements. There are break statements. We're going to number that to clarify. There are continue statements. And there are go to statements. A break statement will terminate the loop statement, and so it will just end the loop. A continue statement will cause the loop to skip over the remainder of the body and immediately retest its condition prior to going through the loop, so it will test a single thing. And a go-to statement transfers control to the labeled statement. These are complicated, and it's not advised to use them if you're just beginning. And now an infinite loop is a loop that never has a false statement. For loops are traditionally used for this purpose of infinite loops, and since none of the three expressions that form the loop are required, you can make an endless loop by leaving the expressions. I'll show you what I mean right here. Got an infinite loop set up. So for for loops, you will have three expressions right here. I'm going to show you an actual loop here in a second, and I'll show you the expressions. But I'm going to run this right quick for you, and you'll see that it will run forever. It's loading right quick, and it's just running. You can tell because every now and again it'll glitch somewhere in there, and it'll just keep running forever and forever and ever. So that is an infinite loop. So stop that. And now to look at an actual loop. See, here we have our three expressions. We have unsigned int counter, and counter is going to be our variable. Each one is going to represent one number, and then we're going to run it 20 times. If we were to just put equal, then it messes it up. You need to be sure to put less than or equal to 20. Then you have plus plus counter. And so what we're going to do here, this one, it prints out a set of random numbers between 1 and 6, and the set W will set a width of 10 in between each number. And then this if statement right here will allow each line to have 5 numbers in it. So I'm going to show you right quick what that will look like. So as you can see, it printed out 20 numbers. We've got, as this says, 5 numbers in each line, and then each number is between 1 and 6. So that's the basics of loops. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.